The 7 Wonders of Ancient Civilization. Many of these fantastic wonders are an enigma, and only one of them really has any proof of existing. Today, we'll talk about the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Now before we start any of this, let's get into some time-appropriate garbs, shall we? There, much better. Now what are the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, you may ask? Well, it was an ancient structure possibly built around 605 BCE to 562 BCE during the age of the Neo-Babylonian Empire. This wonder was said to be a gift for the wife of King Nebuchadnezzar II. Located at about 80 kilometers south of modern Baghdad in Iraq, it was an ancient city that existed in the Fertile Crescent. The exact location of the wonder, however, still remains up to debate. We'll get into that later. In the legends, some say the Tower of Babel might have been visible from the Hanging Gardens. Those who have written about the garden describe it as being 20 meters high with a tiered design. Considering that this structure would have been built in the Mediterranean standards from 600 BCE, it would have been heavily influenced by Greek Hellenistic architecture. Therefore, the use of many columns on the outside perimeter of the structure would be very befitting for the time, all of which would most probably be of the Corinthian order, since that style of column was very popular back in the day. These columns are distinguished thanks to the 2 rows of stylized acanthus leaves that form the capital, or in other words, the top part of the column. The inner walls would be adorned with bas-relief images of either the king's accomplishments, various plants, or sphinxes. This wonder would also have columns and arched entrances, seeing as they afford the most stability to the structure that has to support the weight of the plants. There would also be a mix of local materials and mud bricks that would be used for its construction. For the sake of simplicity, they did not import non-local materials, as it would be hard to get it in large quantities, and stoas, or in other words, long corridors lined with columns, would afford the most stability and light to the interior of the building. A large variety of native and imported plants would be used to decorate the walls and exterior of the site. The existence of this place is only told through a few notable people, the first of which wasn't a very reliable person named Diodorus Siculus. Nevertheless, it seems like the gardens were written so extensively and in such detail that archaeologists resolved to keep the wonder in the list. Much like the Tower of Babel, the existence of the gardens will forever be disputed by scholars. As it stands, there have been no recorded instances of these gardens in any of the written achievements or official records for the king Nebuchadnezzar II. This is an oddity considering that there are many ancient written accounts for other projects that the king led that were in much smaller scale. I would be lying if I were to ignore the existence of one possible trace of this wonder. There exists a site near the river close to the king's palaces that seems to be the remains of large drains and walls. This alludes to there being an irrigation system in place for the gardens, yet none are present. Do you believe the Hanging Gardens of Babylon deserve to be in the list of 7 wonders? Or should we replace it with another site that deserves more recognition? That is all. Thank you for watching this video, and have a great day.